Welcome to the third and final part of our Talking Next Generation podcast. Lee's here with me still, and after almost 7 years, mate, writing on average 26 one-hour episodes a year, we're going to get some clankers, especially as we head into season 7. And one I particularly want to talk about is Crush's love affair in season 7, episode 14, Sub Rosa.
I was trying to work out which episode you were going to go for, and that one completely escaped my mind. Yeah. Sub Rosa, so, wow.
Space Ghost from Scotland.
Yeah. I don't even know.
It's up there.
Yeah, look, it's definitely up there because I think this is the difference between it and Shades of Grey. Is Shades of Grey was, this slapped together, desperate, we need to get a quota type of episode, and we have no money and we have no writers, so what are we going to do? Whereas Sub Rosa, someone kind of invested time into it. Someone pitched it, someone agreed to it, someone did. I'm not an expert on the episode. I have seen it several times, obviously, but it's not. There are some people out there who are obsessed with it and love it or hate it to love it or whatever, and they know everything about it, type of thing. Whereas I it's one of those episodes I gloss over and don't I'll skip that in my Netflix queue. Yeah, it's an interesting. Again, I'm not sure how it got pitched and how it got agreed to, and is Gates McFadden's acting in it particularly bad? No, not at all. Is it a ridiculous episode? Yes, it's so bad. It's such a bad premise for an episode.
Is it the first time in Star Trek? Or I think it's certainly the first time in Next Generation. But is it the first time in Star Trek overall that there's actually a sex scene?
Yeah,
filmed. I mean, that's basically what Ronan did.
Yeah,
we all miss that bit that he just kind of, and she kind of,
Yeah, it's
Jonathan Frakes directed this episode, for crying out loud. What happened?
Yeah, I know, and I think honestly, if I had to pick what happened, was I think that they swung hard. I think they went, you know what, we're either gonna hit a home run, or this is going dead, and it went dead.
It went deader than dead.
I mean, I can't see the line. Like, you can see certain episodes which either work or don't work, and you can see the line that they were kind of walking down, and when they don't cross the line, the episode is genius. But when they just put one step over that line, the episode falls to pieces and it's horrible. And this one, I don't even see the line. It's like they ran over the line and went so far the other way. So had it worked, it would have been possibly the episode of the whole show. But it didn't. So it was absolutely, just tonally it's just all wrong. Which I think is what is jarring about it as well. It's like, it's not even just a poor episode. It's jarringly wrong and out there and confusing into why it exists. Like, you can always excuse the Warp 10 salamander babies of Voyager, where you kind of look at it and go, okay, none of this, it's not a good episode and I don't like it. But like it fits the tone of the show as far as everything's kind of working fine. It's just that the story's terrible and the concept is there, but it's just executed so poorly that it's just. But tonally, the episode doesn't necessarily jump out. Whereas with this, at the episode, it doesn't feel like a Next Generation episode. It just, like if there was stunt casting in it, I'd go, okay, I get that. Like if the ghost was, I don't even know who would have been big at that stage. If the ghost was Michael Douglas or something, I would have gone, okay. Yes. I see what's going on here. Like they had Michael Douglas and they didn't know what to do with him. But it's none of that. It's just such a, I don't know. It's just such a weird episode.
All right. Well, we're fast running out of time, Lee. So excluding the best of both worlds, favourite episode?
Yeah, look, I think I'll go obvious with this, is The Inner Light, which is again an interesting choice, simply in the fact that it focuses solely on Picard and it's not an ensemble. And I usually prefer kind of everyone gets something to do type of episodes, but obviously the Inner Light was such an exceptionally well written and performed episode that it just ticks all the boxes. And it is not the best episode to show someone who's never seen Star Trek before, to get them into Star Trek, because it's not normal Star Trek. It is different, but it is lots. It's so well done, and it is. As I say, such a cliched choice too. I wish I had a devil in the dark to kind of grab and say, yeah, this is my favorite. I think this is the best, but I just don't. I'll go with the absolute obvious. How about yourself? What's your favorite?
I'm thinking Q-Who.
Right.
Bringing it back to early TNG. And for me, it's sort of an episode where they sort of worked out what they were going to be about. Yeah. And it wasn't always going to be about the action and the big bad enemy, but that was really the first episode. I mean, aside from Conspiracy, which wasn't sort of fully fleshed out and would have been nice to come back to. But with Q-Who, we had this enemy that there was no negotiating with, there was no talking to, there was no sitting around a conference table and discussing it. They were going to slice open the hull and they were going to take out three sections of 3 decks, and they were going to analyse you.
It is also the last time that the Borg were particularly scary.
Yes. I mean, that's part of the problem of creating an all-powerful enemy. You've got to defeat them at some point.
Oh, look, and I think Best of Both Worlds does a good job, because I think the solution in Best of Both Worlds was actually ingenious, and it did exploit what made them strong, which was great. And then obviously, I think over the years then, and the Borg became a little bit less powerful, less menacing.
Yeah, and that was certainly with Voyager flying through their space. Maybe there should have been something else there.
Oh, yeah, but I think also I think the Iborg, that was interesting. I think that was probably a really interesting period, but then they kind of didn't, it all fell off the rails, I think, with, was it Destiny or something like
Descent,
where, Lore was in charge of the Borg or something, and the Borg no longer had cube ships, they had weird other ships and all sorts of they just chipped away at the kind of how scary the Borg should have been. And then, of course, that came to what is considered, I still consider it the best Next Generation film, First Contact, when we introduced the Borg Queen, who's an amazing character, but she's unfortunately the Achilles heel of the Borg. She becomes the weakness of the Borg, which is a shame. All
right, Lee, well, that's the Next Generation all nicely wrapped up. Obviously, there are many other things that we could have talked about, and we could have talked for hours.
Oh, yeah.
But we like to stick to snackable content here at Trekzone. So that, in a nutshell, is the Next Generation. Talking Trek with Lee Sargent. Lee, thanks so much for diving deep with me today, and we'll see you for the Deep Space Nine in a few weeks.
Fantastic.